Good day, distinguished listeners, and welcome once again to Amagate Radio Communication. I am Adiola Gbadebo. It's always a pleasure to share this time with you. As I always say, that Amagate Radio Communications is a leadership and knowledge platform of Amagate Management Consult. We're committed to developing transformational leaders, strengthening organizations, and equipping individuals with the competencies required to thrive in today's dynamic world. We've been talking about our theme for the quarter, which is the advantage, winning beyond talent. Today is episode 3, the learning advantage, staying relevant in a changing world. Learning advantage, staying relevant in a changing world. Over the past 2 weeks, we have established 2 important truths. First, talent alone is never enough. Second, discipline transforms potential into performance. Today we take the conversation, one step further as we take the topic for today, the learning advantage, staying relevant in a changing world. One of the greatest risks any professional can face is becoming comfortable with yesterday's knowledge. The world is changing faster than at any other time in history. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries. Automation is redefining jobs. Digital platforms are changing, customers' expectations. Entire professions are evolving. In this environment, the question is no longer how much do you know? The more important question is how quickly can you learn, adapt, and apply your new knowledge. That is the learning advantage, the half-life of knowledge. Years ago, a university degree was often enough to sustain an entire career. Today, knowledge has a much shorter lifespan. Skills become outdated. Technologies change. Business models evolve. Customer expectations shift. Technologies change. Business models evolve. Customer expectations shift. Professionals who stop learning eventually discover that experience alone is no longer enough. So one of the greatest misconceptions is believing that years of experience automatically translate into expertise. Experience is valuable only when it is accompanied by continuous learning and reflection. Experience is valuable only when it is accompanied by continuous learning and reflection. Otherwise, what we call 20 years of experience may simply be 1 year of experience repeated 20 times. Learning is not something we finish. It is something continuous, something we do continuously. We must keep learning, unlearning, and then we relearn. Modern learning mindset. So high-performing organizations no longer recruit only for current competence. They increasingly recruit for learning agility. Learning agility is the ability to quickly acquire new knowledge, adjust to unfamiliar situations, and applies lessons from experience. Learning agility is the ability to quickly acquire new knowledge, adjust to unfamiliar situations, and apply lessons from experience. Now, this explains why some employees rapidly grow into leadership positions while others remain stagnant despite similar qualifications. The difference is often not intelligence, it is curiosity, willingness to explore. Curious people ask questions, they seek feedback, they read widely, they attend training, they embrace change rather than resist it. The future belongs to lifelong learners. Let's take a case study of Microsoft's cultural transformation under Satya Nadella. So when Satya Nadella became CEO of Microsoft in 2014, the company was still one of the world's largest technology firms. Yet, internally, many observers believed that Microsoft had become slow, bureaucratic, and resistant to change. So rather than focusing only on technology, Nadella focused on culture. He encouraged employees to move from a know-it-all mindset to a learn-it-all mindset. Employees were encouraged to experiment, to collaborate, to admit mistakes, to seek feedback, to continuously improve. Now, learning became part of the organizational identity. The result was remarkable. Microsoft accelerated innovation in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, collaboration tools, and enterprise solutions. The company's market value grew dramatically over the following years, and it reestablished itself as one of the world's most valuable organizations. What a profound lesson. The organizations that continue learning remain competitive. They not only remain competitive, they also remain relevant. The organizations that believe they already know enough begin to decline. Why do people stop learning? As an executive coach, I often encounter professionals who genuinely want to grow but unknowingly limit themselves. There are several reasons. Some become overconfident because of past success. I always say that your greatest obstacle to your next success is your current success. Don't let it get into your head. Some people are afraid of appearing inexperienced, so others become overwhelmed by daily responsibilities. Some simply believe learning belongs only in classrooms. These beliefs are dangerous. Growth begins the moment we admit that there is still more to learn. Growth begins the moment we admit that there is still more to learn. One of the strongest indicators of future leadership is intellectual humility. Intellectual humility. Admitting, even if you know so much, there's so much more to learn. Intellectual humility is the ability and the willingness to say, I don't know, but I am willing to learn. We'll take our second case study, which is IBM's reinvention through continuous learning. IBM has existed for more than a century. Very few companies survive that long. Even fewer remain relevant. IBM began as a company producing business machines. Later, it became synonymous with mainframe computers. As technology evolved, IBM realized that relying on its historical strengths would not guarantee its future. Relying on historical strengths, what we call old glory, would not guarantee its future. The company invested heavily in reskilling its workforce. Employees were encouraged to develop capabilities in cloud computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and then consulting. So IBM also introduced internal digital learning platforms that allowed the employees to continuously update their knowledge. This commitment to learning enabled IBM to reposition itself repeatedly despite dramatic technological shifts. The lesson is very clear. Longevity belongs to organizations that continuously reinvent themselves. I'll take it again. Longevity belongs to organizations that continuously reinvent themselves. The same principles apply to individuals. Your career should evolve faster than your industry. That's what makes you relevant. Your career, your growth, your skills should be ahead of your industry. You should begin to look for areas, places where you can continuously improve so you can be ahead in your own industry. By the time the industry gets to that level, you've already acquired the skill relevant for that stage and you're already looking forward to the future. So you will remain relevant. You will remain an important or an integral part of that organization. Organizations, no matter the bad times, when they are downsizing, they don't get rid of the core of the organization. How do you become a core of your organization? By being ahead of your industry. You are always prepared for the future. We're going to a short break now. After this break, we will continue.
At Armor Gates Training, we believe professional development should do more than inform. It should transform how people work, lead, and deliver results. That's why we support organizations through conceptual insight, practical learning, and performance evaluation right at the intersection of leadership, strategy, and institutional transformation. Our approach focuses on practical learning format that professionals can immediately apply in their workplace. At Armor Gate, we don't teach theory alone. We equip participants with real-world insight drawn from almost 2 decades of organizational transformation experience. Our programs combine multiple learning methods designed for real-time measurable results. Through seminars, we facilitate deep conversation on key subjects. Using group exercises, participants collaborate, reflect, and think strategically. With case studies, they then sharpened analytical and decision-making skills using real industry scenarios. Through relevant videos, we spark insightful discussions using relatable real-life context. All in all, every participant develops an individual work plan, ensuring the learning turns into real action after the program. Our training programs are hosted in world-class venues across global cities, including Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Mombasa, Cape Town, Dubai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, London, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Let's work with you to turn learning into your organization's growth. For more inquiries, call +234 807 9574 151 or WhatsApp +1 610 504 6026. Visit www.thearmorgate.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Armorgate. Armorgate Training, transforming knowledge, interaction, and growth.
You're welcome back to Armorgate Radio Communications. We're still on our theme for the month. Talent is not enough. The advantage, winning beyond talent. We're saying talent is never enough. There are other things that you need to add to it to ensure you stay relevant. And today is episode 3, and we're talking about the learning advantage, staying relevant in a changing world. And we spoke about, how continuous learning is necessary for one to continue to stay relevant in this changing world. We talked about all the disruption that is happening in the work industry, artificial intelligence, automation, digital platforms. Entire professionals are evolving, and I was saying that the question is no longer how much do you know, and that the more important question is how quickly can you learn, adapt, and apply new knowledge. We've spoken about Microsoft's cultural transformation that changed them from a know-it-all mindset to a learn-it-all mindset. And we also spoke about IBM's reinvention through continuous learning, where IBM encourages its employees to learn, different things, to learn to develop capacities in cloud computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and also in consulting. So, and you see that IBM got to understand that their age-long presence is not going to guarantee their future. Their historical strengths would not guarantee it, what I called old glory. So they knew that they needed to stay relevant in the future. So they continued. So they introduced even digital learning platforms that allow the employee to continuously update and upskill part time. Now, so I want to go to the next session. I will talk about when I was talking about building your learning advantage. How do you build your learning advantage? How then do we become lifelong learners? How do we become lifelong learners? Let me suggest 6 practical strategies. Number 1, read intentionally. Leaders are readers. I remember I was watching something on TikTok, and it was about investing, knowing where to invest, how to invest. And the guest was asked, how do you know what and where to invest in? And he says, read. That you need to keep reading, read, and read. So leaders are readers. Read beyond your profession. Exactly. One of the things we should do is to be interested in general reading. Just read outside your profession. Read things, read. Study leadership. Study economics, technology, behavioral science, communication, history. You know what? Broader knowledge improves decision making. Broader knowledge improves decision making. Number 2, learn from people. Every experienced professional knows something you do not. Learn from people. Mentors shorten learning curves. They help you arrive there faster than if you did it on your own. You know why? You avoid their pitfalls. They tell you, don't go there. Where you are going, you're going to make a mistake, like I did. So use this route. So they help you to avoid. So they shorten your learning curve. Coaches expose blind spots, right? Like I said, those are places that you do not know. You won't see them. You won't see them except someone showed you. And the person who showed you is someone who's made that mistake before. So what the person is helping you to do is to avoid repeating their own mistakes. Coaches expose blind spots. Colleagues provide practical insight. Learn from your colleagues. Never underestimate the value of meaningful conversations. So move away from arguments to meaningful conversations. Move away from arguments to meaningful conversations. For example, if you are trying to have a discussion about what the current government has been able to achieve, don't argue from your bias point. Don't even argue. Ask questions. All right, these are the economic parameters by which I want to ask questions. Can you help me? Tell me what these governments have done in these areas, using these parameters. Can we gauge? Then you engage the opponents, and then they can defend along that line. And they are shifting it from that line. You help them to guide them back. Say, no, we're not arguing. Just asking you to show me. That is a meaningful conversation. Stop arguing. Number 3, learn from experience. Every project teaches you something. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every success leaves clues. Reflection converts experience into wisdom. Let me take that again. Reflection converts experience into wisdom. Ask yourself regularly, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? Number 4, embrace technology. Embrace technology. Technology is, something you cannot do without in this current world. Technology has democratized learning. I'm shocked that there are professionals who are working in this current generation and cannot make use, and they're not even computer literate. They cannot do simple things with a laptop. PowerPoints, use PowerPoint, be able to put things on the Excel, use Excel, use some of those Microsoft packages, including just the little things on Microsoft Word. Put a table, tabulate some things on Microsoft Word. How much more will you ask those people to go into AI? Today, world-class education is available through online courses, webinars, podcasts, digital libraries, and professional communities. I cannot tell you how much I've learned on Udemy, how much I've learned on Coursera, digital platforms, fantastic courses, digital libraries, professional communities, just like how much you can learn on Amage's YouTube channel. I told you Amage's YouTube channel is a bank of resources. There are so many recorded broadcasts there that you can learn from. Just, go on YouTube, search Amagate Communications, and then like the page, subscribe, turn on and then you can just dive in and go through all the different areas. Amagate, we have partners who throughout the week, Mondays through Fridays, have different broadcasts on different topics between, anytime from 5 to 6 p.m. You will not regret, going into that space to learn. The barriers to learning are lower than ever before. Yes, because now within the comfort of your room, you can learn something. You can take courses. The real question is whether we are taking advantage of them. Number 5, seek constructive feedback. Seek constructive feedback. So feedback is one of the greatest accelerations and the fastest accelerations to growth. Yes. Feedback helps you to know where you need to improve. Feedback helps you to know what you are doing very well, so you can, continue in that area. And the things that are not too good, is feedback is good for you. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you are doing what the customer does not need. Sometimes you are trying to offer a service people do not need at that time, or that people no longer need. It's feedback that allows you to know all this. So do not ask only for compliments. Ask, what can I improve? Growth begins where defensiveness ends. Stop being defensive. Stop being defensive. Don't always try to defend. Just ask, okay, what can I improve on? Number 6, teach others. I remember when I was in secondary school, one of the things that helped me to revise, since I didn't like reading that much then, was that whatever I have learned, I'm a fast learner. I pick up points easily and all that. So I teach my friends who do not understand it. So I teach them. Once I teach them, it's like revision for me. One of the best ways to deepen your understanding is to teach. So while you are teaching, you get different perspectives. People ask you different questions that help you to rethink what you thought you know. When you explain ideas clearly, your own thinking becomes clearer. Leaders multiply knowledge by sharing it. Learning as a leadership responsibility. If you lead people, your learning affects more than your own career. It affects your organization. Leaders who stop learning eventually stop leading effectively. The best leaders create learning cultures. They encourage experimentation. They reward innovation. They invest in employee development. They make learning a strategic priority rather than an occasional activity. An organization that learns faster than its competitors develops a sustainable advantage. So this week, I want to invite you to conduct a personal learning audit. Ask yourself these questions. What new skills have I developed in the last 12 months? What book am I currently reading? Who challenges my thinking? Which industry trends do I need to understand better? If my profession changed tomorrow, will I still remain valuable? Will I still remain relevant? Then commit to one new learning goal for the next 90 days. Learning should become a lifestyle, not an event. So as we conclude, remember these important lessons. 1, knowledge becomes obsolete unless it is continually renewed. Curiosity is a leadership strength. That's 2. 3, learning agility creates career resilience. 4, great organizations build learning cultures. 5, the willingness to learn is often more valuable than what you already know. In a rapidly changing world, the greatest competitive advantage It's not simply what you know today, it's your capacity to learn tomorrow. This is the quote of the week. The leaders of tomorrow are not those who know the most, they are those who never stop learning. Thank you for joining me on another enriching edition on AmoGates Radio Communications. I would like to get your feedback. Remember, I just said that feedback is one of the best ways to learn. Let us learn also. Let us be able to improve also. By getting feedback from you, you can send us your feedback through email. Our email is contact@theamogate.org. Contact@theamogate.org. Or simply you can send us your feedback through WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp line is +234 810 999 6666. I'll take it again. +234 810 999 6666. You can check us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We're at AmoGate on those handles. And like I shared earlier, go to our YouTube channel and take advantage of the bank of resources that is there. Next week we shall examine another essential pillar on of sustainable success, the character advantage, why integrity is your greatest professional asset. Until then, remain curious, stay teachable, invest in your growth, and remember, learning is not a phase of life, it is the discipline that keeps you relevant throughout life. Thank you for listening. I wish you an inspiring, productive, and growth-filled week ahead.
AmoGate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. AmoGate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theamogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666, +234 807 957 4151, and +161 0504 6026. www.theamogate.org. AmoGate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.